severe with that, but we'll have the potential to see severe storms through this evening, and we have a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire area until 8 o'clock. So that threat will last until about 8, although I think we'll see some areas coming out of that severe thunderstorm watch before that. Now we'll take a closer view back into this storm once again to show you where it is right now, where it's headed. We'll track it again as well. Notice it's making its way toward Collierville, but right now Germantown seeing the brunt of it with the heavy rain and the lightning. Let me put the lightning info back on the screen here so you can see so much lightning associated with this. And again, we are still in the 60s to 70s as we continue to see lightning strikes pop up even as I put that info on. I'm going to zoom out just a bit and we'll put the tracker back on once again. And again, if you are just joining me, I'm tracking the severe thunderstorm that's in place for Shelby County until 2:45. So you can see it's moving now into eastern sections of Shelby County toward Fisherville and eventually into Fayette County. So I'll take this off once again and we'll zoom out just a bit so I can allow you to see the areas that this is going to be moving into. I'll draw that line right up along that storm and pull this on out. It's moving east right around 25. So there we go. Some of the communities that are in the path of this storm. If you are near La Petite Academy, it'll be approaching your area right around 2:20. These are approximate times. Bailey at around 2:22. So get ready if you're in Bailey. Heavy rain, the potential for some hail and lots of lightning. Collierville at 2:26. Piperton at 2:32. Wolf River at 2:35. New Bethel at 2:37. This is going to be pushing into your area. Rossville at 2:38. And if you're near Mount Zion School, 2:39 for you. Now let's take a look at the hail to see if we're seeing any hail within this. As I was looking on my other system, it was showing me that potential, and you can see that right there, just to the south of Germantown, just right up along the Mississippi-Tennessee border there. And we'll put the info on to see what size potentially that this could be. And it's looking like over 1/2 inch, but that's radar estimated. So there may be some hail within this. I think another reason why the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning on this particular storm. So we'll track it from where we could be dealing with some hail and show you where that potential hail core is going to be tracking. We'll pull this out to about 20 to 25. And again, you can see as this is moving overhead in your community, you may also be getting it on some hail as well, as we have the hail indicator on here. So Bailey at around 2:26, same communities, Collierville 2:30, Wolf River at 2:39, Moscow at around 2:54. We'll take this off and we'll put the radar back on here. And we'll take a look at those rainfall rates as well, because they have certainly been on the high side. In just a sec here. Here's the rainfall rate. And let's see what the numbers are on that. I'm guessing very high. You can see by some of those brighter colors and darker shades of red that we're seeing, over 1.5 inches per hour. So this is how much rain would fall if this storm set over your area for an hour. But thankfully they're moving off toward the east, but still dumping quite a bit of rain. We'll clear that off and take a look at the rainfall rate for this cell just to the north of that, right around Bartlett. And that one is producing close to 1 inch per hour. So again, look out for some heavy rainfall as well. We'll turn the radar back on here, and that warning still in place for just about another 20 to 23 minutes. And again, it's for Shelby County until 2:45, now moving into eastern Shelby County. So I think if you're in western sections, you're good to go. Things are drying out. This is continuing to move off toward the east. Now we're going to zoom in once again. And oops, didn't mean to do that. We'll put everything back on and we'll zoom in. There we go. Take a closer dive here. And again, that heavy rain is so close to moving into Collierville. Right now you're dry, but that leading edge is on its way. And as this is moving in, it could certainly be producing some very gusty winds. Let's take a look if we can take a look at some of the winds. We'll put the scope on here to see what we're seeing within this. And not seeing anything in the way of rotation. However, I think we're dealing with some very strong winds here with this. So yeah, as that is moving in, you could be getting some high gusts. So again, right on that leading edge there, could be dealing with some very strong winds with this. Meant to zoom out here. So we'll zoom out a little bit more. We'll keep going out so we can see exactly where we are, and then let me pan over just a bit. And again, lots and lots of heavy rain. We zoom out a little bit more. And yeah, we're still continuing to see lots of lightning, lots of heavy rain. Let's track. Just put a tracker, I'll put the tracker on in just a second, but again, just want to let you know, if you're just joining me, we're tracking a severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for Shelby County. And everything that we're seeing this afternoon has been very isolated, nothing in the way of a widespread rain. The cells that have been popping up have been very isolated, and they're able to really interact with all this high heat and humidity that we have in place. We've got an isolated cell just to the north of Hernando that's making its way toward Valhalla. Nothing severe with that one, but it's this particular cell that's making its way into eastern Shelby County that we're seeing the potential for some gusty winds, some hail with that, and lots of heavy rainfall as expected. When we were telling you about the potential for severe weather, we were saying that that will be the main threats, and I think that will continue to be the main threats with any storms that do pop up. So we'll zoom back into this storm and track it once again. Put the zoom in here. And again, this warning in place until 2:45. Let's draw the track on once again, and we'll track it right up along where we're seeing the leading edge of the heaviest rain, and then pull that out some. So about 20 there, a little bit more, and there we go. So Collierville, you will be experiencing this heavy rainfall, lightning, and the potential for some hail in just about the next 4 to 5 minutes. Elba at 2:34, Bailey at 2:35, Wolf River at 2:38. So it looks like you'll be getting the storm overhead. Lots of lightning with this. So if you can hear the thunder, we always say when thunder roars, go indoors, because even if you can hear the faintest sound of thunder, you are close enough to be struck. So if you hear even a little bit, we want you to head inside. 242 for Southwest Elementary School. If you're in and around that area, get ready. This is going to be headed your way. Rossville at 243, Piperton at 246, Moscow at 253. So those are the communities that are going to be impacted by this storm in the next several minutes. Again, we take a zoom out, and I want to show you that there's not anything coming in behind this at this point. We still have the potential that we could see more development through the afternoon and evening because we do have the high humidity and heat in place, but I think anything we see will be very isolated, nothing widespread. Most of the severe weather outside of our area down to our south, and tracking some storms also up to the north that were severe. Looks like those warnings have expired. But if you're just joining us, again, we are tracking a severe thunderstorm warning that is in place for eastern Shelby County. The storm getting ready to move into Fayette County, and it is in place for Shelby County until 2:45. The main threats with this storm: lots of lightning, heavy rain, the potential for some hail. And I'll show you as we put the hail tracker on. It was tracking over a half of an inch when it comes to hail size, and that is radar estimated, so it may not be that exact size, but it is giving us a good indication that there may be some hail within this. You can see right around Germantown, that's where we saw some of the heaviest rain falling as well, and all that lightning was centered right over Germantown, starting to now press east outside of your area, but you can see that hail indicator there showing us that there could be some hail within that. And also this cell up toward Lakeland, you might be getting some hail with the storm that's over your area right now. Again, this is all moving off toward the east. We turn that radar back on once again, and we'll turn that back on. We'll look at the rain rates as well. That's certainly been an issue, and pretty much all the storms that we've seen so far this season have definitely let down some very heavy rainfall. So we'll watch the potential for some localized flooding. Thankfully, these are racing off toward the east pretty quickly, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But notice still a lot of heavy rain falling just to the east now of Germantown, right around I-269, getting in on some heavy rainfall. That rainfall rate well over an inch. So look out for that. Likely some ponding on the road as this is coming down. We'll clear that off and we'll take a look at this cell that's just to the north. That's near Lakeland. That one, the rainfall rate's a little bit lower there, so under an inch. And we'll check out the rates as I pan down on this one in North Mississippi that's south of Olive Branch. We'll look at the rainfall rates with that one as well. See if I can get that to highlight. And maybe I'm already on it, so we'll see if it gives me an indicator. And it does, over an inch for that cell that's south of Olive Branch and making its way toward Byhalia. We'll put the radar back on once again. And let's take a look at the lightning, because sometimes that's a good indicator of if the storm is strengthening or weakening. I suspect it's maintaining its strength, at least, because I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference in all the lightning. So let's put that back on here. And you can see about 88 strikes. So that is down a little bit. Some good news there. We'll clear that off and take a look at the lightning within this one that is near Arlington and just north of Lakeland, and a lot less strikes with that one, just about 12. So let me zoom out just a little bit once again. I want to give all those who are maybe just joining us, we'll zoom in just a little bit. Actually, let me see if I can zoom in. Here we go. An idea of where this storm is moving. And I'm panning down just a little bit here. You can see some of that heavy rain now starting to shift into western Fayette County. And let's put the tracker on once again to give you an idea of that leading edge of that storm making its way toward Moscow if it holds together, which I believe it will. And you can see the areas that it's going to impact as it moves into Fayette County. Now we're talking about Elba at 234, Macon at 239, Southwest Elementary School. If you're in and around that area, you are looking at the heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, and potentially some hail. And it looks like they may have canceled that warning. Let me just check. And yeah, I don't see that it is still active. And we're going to zoom out just a bit to make sure there are no other active warnings before I jump off here. Zoom out, not in. Let me zoom out once again. There we go. We'll zoom out a little bit more. And I'll continue to zoom out here just to be sure there are no more warnings, active warnings in and around the area. So I think we are good to go. Okay. And as I mentioned, we'll have that potential for strong to severe storms through this evening. So I'll be keeping a close eye on the radar and certainly updating you if conditions warrant. We'll jump right back on to digital and give you the latest information. For now, we'll return you to whatever you were doing before. Thanks for joining me.